Approval is about the acknowledgement that what's happening right now is what is. And that when we fight it, when we object to it, when we want to deny it, we lose an opportunity to know it. So maybe you've experienced this yourself, where someone has disapproved of you. And I don't know about you, but for me, if someone is disapproving of me, it's really hard to reveal who I am. It's really hard to stay with them in the present moment, and it's hard to say like, "Oh, let me show you my most intimate vulnerable parts while you're disapproving of me." Well, the same is with our experience and really with different aspects of our own self. That when we're disapproving, they're much less likely to show us their true nature. And when we start with a sense that, okay, this is what is right now. I might like it, I might dislike it, I might feel indifferent to it. It doesn't really change the fact that it's what's happening right now. And when I can bring this sense of approval of like, yeah, okay, this is what's happening, then it can start opening to me. Then I can actually begin to be curious. It's really hard to be curious, to have that investigative quality, to really start to learn about something, to get to know its more subtle nature or workings when we're stuck in disapproval. Disapproval holds us at a distance. Approval is somewhat of a key to entry. And so the way this works in meditation, maybe you can even notice as I'm talking about approval and curiosity, it actually plays into the acronym that many of you may know, RAIN. And RAIN is an acronym we use most often when things are challenging in meditation, especially strong emotions, but I think can be applied anywhere. And it stands for the process of recognizing, accepting or allowing, interest, and non-identifying. And I really see that allowing as this sense of approval, and that interest as this curiosity. And so these are two of the primary skills that we both use in meditation, and we also cultivate through our meditation so we can have them more in life. And just as I've been talking, you can probably feel what having a little more approval, having a little more allowing, if that's an easier word for you, you can think of it as allowing, a little more approval and a little more curiosity could do, both for your own experience of yourself, maybe parts of yourself that you find difficult, and also for your experiences of life and with the people around you. If we can start by saying, well, this is what is, and can I start being curious about it? I think it was last week I talked more about curiosity, and you can go into the Inside LA Instagram videos, or you can see the videos on my website, and you can see the video about curiosity. I did one recently. So today I'm really going to focus on this quality of allowing or approval. One thing that I want to say about this before we hop into a meditation to explore it is that sometimes when we have a really strong experience, it's about an individual, or it's about maybe a group of people. Maybe it's about the government. Maybe it's about an old love. Maybe it's about your partner or your kids. And when we are thinking about that individual or that group of people, it's really sticky. And one of the ways that we can practice approval is by turning towards our own feelings about the situation. So it's like, I feel hateful. Let's be honest about our emotions here. It might be that strong. It might be, I feel really hateful. And can I start with some approval for the fact that I feel hateful? Can I be curious about it? Can I open and experience what that's like? Or maybe what I'm experiencing is obsession. And I'm thinking and I'm caught up in this other person or this situation. My mind is so hooked, I can't get out of it. Can I turn towards the fact that I'm obsessed and be really curious about the experience of obsession? If you think of something like obsession, what a painful and difficult emotion experience it is. We can be in this constant fight, like, oh, this is bad. Obsession or hate or anxiety, depression, these things we immediately most often relate to as bad. They're unpleasant experiences to have. But if we can turn towards them and take our attention off of it being about the other person or the experience and turn towards our direct experience. So whether it's the anxiety or the obsession or the hatred, whatever it is, and get really curious about that. This is what is right now. This is hatred. This is obsession. We can start by acknowledging it and giving space to allow it, to stop our fight with it, to stop that, like, oh, this has got to change, or I'm a terrible person, or all these things, and simply feeling it. And if those other things come in, if that feeling like, I hate this, I wish that this would change, we can turn our approval towards that. Oh, the wish for something to change, the hating of the experience. Can I give approval there too? And this is kind of the magic of mindfulness. Mindfulness doesn't care what it's mindful of. Sorry about that, I got a phone call. So mindfulness can be mindful of anything. It can be mindful of hatred, of obsession, of jealousy, of anxiety. And in this way, we discover this incredible friend that in some ways, mindfulness is value neutral. It comes with this value neutrality to be able to say, oh, this is what is. So I turn towards it, I open to it, I can be curious about it. So you might be thinking right now about a strong emotion that you have. Maybe you can think of just, oh, where do I feel hate? Where do I feel incredible frustration in my life? Where do I feel anxiety? Where do I feel these things that are difficult for me to feel? And can I acknowledge this is what is right now? And what happens when I do that? Can I actually open to experience it? And even as I'm doing that, if I'm thinking, I hate this, how much longer do I have to do this for? When is this meditation over? Then you can turn your approval towards that. Oh, this is what is. Restlessness is what is. Desire for this to be over. Maybe there's another desire or a longing that arises. Can we experience our longing? Can we directly turn towards and experience our longing? So whatever you're experiencing, whatever your emotion, whatever it is in life right now or recently, we'll practice with this. And we'll practice with allowing and making space and actually remembering that there's enough space for us to feel it all. So we'll practice for a few minutes now. Maybe we'll sit for about 10 minutes together. If you have time to stay on and do a little practice with us, we'll practice this quality of allowing, of approval for the moment as it is. So find a way to be both relaxed but alert. Even if you're outside walking or you're moving about your house, try to be both relaxed and alert as you do that. And of course, if you're able to sit down or stand still for a few minutes, that's wonderful. And we're going to start by connecting in with our breath. Our breath is like an access point to the present moment. It's occurring right here and now. So whatever you're doing, if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes or let your eyes be soft, looking down towards the ground so there's less visual distraction. And as I'm speaking less, notice what you become aware of. you likely will become aware of the rising and the falling of your breath. Feel it in your body, experiencing the breath through your body, feeling the rising and expanding of the in-breath and the falling, the release of the out-breath. Opening to experience the breath like waves in an ocean. You can feel your body, your being like the vast ocean, and the in-breath like a wave arriving, expanding, and cresting. And then the exhale like the wave releasing and falling. So feeling it like this, in-breath, rising, cresting, out breath falling. Feeling the breath like waves in the ocean, the waves moving through your body. Allowing the breath to be exactly what it is. Your breath might be really short and quick, especially if you've been moving about. It might be longer, softer, or more still. Noticing if you have a desire to change the breath and being with the breath exactly as it is. Being curious about how each breath is a little different. Can you allow for the wave of this breath and then this breath? Being open to, receiving, being curious about your experience of the breath exactly as it is, right here, right now. Now, as you do this, you might notice all other manner of things arising. You might notice thoughts and emotions, sensations. So we'll start by practicing with an emotion. Notice what's present. Is there restlessness, a wondering of how long we're going to do this for? If so, can you turn towards and feel the restlessness? It's part of your experience right now. Maybe a sadness arises, some grief or loneliness. Can you turn towards that? Oh, welcome. Hello, grief. Hello, sadness. Hello, loneliness. And feel that it's the experience that it's arising right now. Whatever's arising, you can acknowledge it and name it. Oh, this is what restlessness feels like. This is restlessness. And then notice how it feels in your body. Once you've approved of it, once you've allowed for it, you can get curious about it. There's nothing wrong with feeling restless in meditation. There's nothing wrong with sadness or anxiety. So acknowledging it's here, whatever it is you're feeling. Maybe you're feeling excitement. Maybe what you're feeling is curiosity. Noticing whatever your predominant feeling is right now and allowing for it and being curious. This is what whatever you're feeling feels like. Maybe it's even sleepiness. If you're on the West Coast, we're still in the earlier part of our day. So this is what sleepiness feels like. Turn towards it and be curious. Oh, how does it feel in my body? How does it feel to be sleepy? Is it like thick, heavy eyelids or, gravity feeling in my body? Does it feel foggy around me? Or maybe that feeling that you're having is a heartbreak. Can you feel the achiness in your chest? Maybe the wetness behind your eyes, or there's an intense churning in your stomach. Say, oh, this is what heartbreak feels like. And being willing to feel it through your body. Just like we're willing to feel the breath through our body, knowing our body, our being is so much greater and the breath's like a wave, we can know that our being is so much greater and this moment is a wave passing through, and we can fully receive that wave, whatever the wave is. So acknowledging whatever you're feeling. Maybe you feel irritation. Oh, what does irritation feel like? It feels like a scratchiness or a pressure in your chest. Acknowledging whatever you're feeling right now and then turning towards it with curiosity. Notice what happens. Be curious about what happens as you bring this approval. As you bring approval for whatever emotion or experience you're having, what happens to the emotion or experience? It's like, oh, I'm feeling anxious. This is what anxiety feels like. Feels like a racing in my chest or a heat in my cheeks. Kind of spinning feeling. And as I open to it, does it fade? Does it stay the same? Or does it get bigger? And can I allow space for it to get bigger? Maybe your rage, your sadness, your frustration, your restlessness, maybe it's as big as the room you're sitting in. Can you allow it to be that big? Remembering it can be bigger than your body. Can it be as big as the city you are in? Can you approve of it and allow it to be as big? Maybe it is as big as this whole planet. You don't have to contain it. You don't have to make it smaller. Allowing your experience to be the size that it is, staying with it. Being curious about it. Oh, this is what a rage this big feels like. And noticing what happens as you allow it to be as big as it is. If you feel overwhelmed or if you get lost, come back to your breath. You can always anchor back in this moment with this breath. And as you feel some more stability, you can return to whatever it is that is strong in your experience. If you feel confused, this is what confusion feels like, turning towards that. So, whatever's with you here and now, you don't need to change it in this practice. Simply acknowledge it, allow for it, and be curious about it, whatever it is. And in the next moment, it might be something different, and you can do the same with it then. This is the process of getting intimate with our life, getting intimate with our experience, allowing, approving of it. It's what's here right now. Intimacy happens in being with what's here right now. And then bringing that faculty of curiosity to get to know it, to be intimate with it. And this is how we practice mindfulness with whatever is arising in life, inside of us, around us. And as we do this, as we can bring this approval and curiosity, then we can actually get to know its true nature, and from there discover what a resonant response is.